Hey there. Start here. So I'm just going to do one more team. This was a sort of an early team idea that I had, and I pulled a Neovision Vaughn last week, and I figured this would be a good chance to give him a shot, see how he does. So you'll see a couple of familiar faces. Obviously, this is all just an exhibition for Flaring Ether Rain. And using him and trying him out. Esther's there again because, I mean, she's just a really great tank that also deals some damage. Plus, she brings the LB damage field, so she brings a lot to this fight. So I always love getting to bring my girl Esther. Chizuru's back because she provides the beast killers for the party, which is really, really nice. Plus some nice attack and mag buffs, which are really handy. And, she deals some... she deals some good damage. The new players here, we've got Tsukiko. So Tsukiko's kind of replacing Tyvis and Ish as the Fire Imperil field. And she also does some decent damage. She's not great in Dark Visions because most of her damage, her relevant damage is for Clash of Wills, because her biggest damaging skill is evocation damage that scales with morale. So it is what it is, but she'll do a decent chunk. You'll see I've given her quite a bit of gear, and just tried to make her work as best as possible. Obviously, if you're looking at the gear and you're like, oh, I can't possibly meet the gear, don't stress out too much about it. It's more about the units and how the units synergize with one another. You do the best you can with the gear to get the best score that you can. But I just wanted to show you sort of a different team composition and how these units synergize with one another. We've got the free Reagan that came out a couple weeks ago, so he's here. He's another true dual wield unit, wielding sword, so he gets to take advantage of the big sword imperil. And then Vaughn's bringing the breaks and the big fire imperil. So let's see how this team does. I'll go over the gear. So the gear for Rain is pretty similar to what you saw in my previous clears, pretty much identical. Okay, so again, if you don't have the gear, just do the best that you can, right? But Rain should definitely be getting most, if not all, of your best gear here, because he is going to be the primary DPS unit. You can see, again, the 350% beast killer, because I activated the extra nodes on my Ifrit Esper. Okay, and that's all you need. He only needs his Brave Shift form, so just do the best you can there. Esther, again, geared for damage in her normal form. All right, so she's got full killers, full LB damage. She's good to go. In her Brave Shift form, a couple of Blizzard Orbs, Behemoth Suit, and Runda's Shield for the mitigations. Make sure she's got her TMR equipped, and then some general elemental resists for fire, ice, lightning, and earth. Tsukiko, you can ignore her normal form. She doesn't need to be geared here in her normal form at all. In her Brave Shift form, you see I went big on the with the Dark Vision sword there, and you just got to make sure that she's got her Esper damage and Evo damage maxed out, which she does. Okay, and then so she's got Fryevia's TMR there so that she can equip the Dark Vision sword, because she can't equip it otherwise. It doesn't make a big difference if you give her rod. It actually doesn't increase her mag all that much if you give her the sword over the rod. So don't sweat it if you don't have the sword. It's not making that big of a difference on Tsukiko. And then I gave her this vision card because it's the only form of focus that I have. I don't have Magic Boost Plus, so I can't give her any kind of focus. If you had Magic Boost Plus, obviously you would use that to give her a couple of focus stacks before you use her big burst ability. All right. Reagan, here we go. So nothing too crazy here. The Magister's Ring could easily be replaced with anything else because he doesn't need Chain Cat Boost. He's a true dual wield unit, but that's just the highest attack accessory that I have, and I don't feel like converting it to the Emperor's variety. He's got the I Wanted to Go With You, so this is for the 300% LB damage buff for the party, because he honestly doesn't need to do anything until turn 4, where he just buffs. He just does the mod boost to his LB, and then he does his LB on turn 5, and that's it. So he is perfect for this role, for singing for those first 3 turns. And then just, yeah, strongest vision card you have for him, so he should be maxed out on everything. Beast, yep, LB damage, he's good to go. Alright, Chizuru in a normal form, doesn't really matter. She can be naked if you want, doesn't really matter here. In her Brave Shift form, full-on damage, as much as you can stuff in there. She's got a couple empty slots here because, honestly, she just maxes out on everything. I could give her some Esper stats. I mean, yeah, some Esper stats, I suppose. Let's do Esper stats, yeah. Alright, I promise I'm on Comrades. And then Esper's Favor. Yeah, just give her a little bit more Epine. There you go. Alright. Okay. And then, yeah, oh, actually, what am I doing? I need to give her the Cool Beauty, or Cool Smile. Yeah, that's what we're missing. Okay. No worries. Alright, obviously if you don't have a Cool Smile, just put the strongest card you have in there. Alright, and then we've got Vaughn. I tried to give him, you know, a decent attack line. I haven't even doored his attack stat that yet, so you see I'm not really going all in on his damage here. He does have, so this is one of those things that I hate. It says 27 hits, but it is definitely not Bolting Strike. I tried to chain it with Tsukiko because I was like, oh, perfect, he'll chain with Tsukiko. Nope, it doesn't chain. So chaining on Bert turn 5 is a little bit wonky, but we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. All right. As for his equips, you just build them with as much damage as you can get. Magister's Ring for Chain Cap boost, some Chain Ramp speed because he's. I gave him Lone Swordsman just because it gives flat attack to anybody. So whatever card you have, just your best card you have there. It also comes with some Beast Killer, which is nice, so it helps him hit Beast Killers pretty easily. And then LB damage, right? So LB damage, Beast Killer, he's good to go. Okay. He doesn't even necessarily need to be EX1 for this strategy to work. Even if you have him at EX0, he still gets access to his 160% Fire Imperil, and he has an 88% Defense Spirit Break on a Magnus ability. So you could get away with an EX0 Vaughn, but obviously, you know, if you have him at EX1, you want him to use his SLB on turn 5 for the higher defense break. Alright, so let's see. This one's all fire. We're not mixing any elements here, so we're just going all fire all the way. Let's get in there and see how we do. Alright, so Reagan's just going to go ahead and start singing. Alright, Esther's going to do the same thing she always does. Omni Cover, Discharge, and Recharge for the stop resistance for the party, and Energizing Bunny. Alright, Chizuru will do Strong Samurai, Spirit, Focused Body, Focused Spirit. Alright, Tsukiko can do Blessed Omamori, although she doesn't really need to do that, I guess. Actually, now that I think about it, she doesn't really need to do that because she's wielding a sword. But you would use it if she was wielding her rod, so I'll do it anyways. Prayer of Protection and Maiden's Consecration Fire. Alright, Vaughn can just do Full Breakdown. Actually, he doesn't even need to do that because Rain's going to do a better break anyways. We'll do Infiraga. True Undermine. And Aldor Leader. Alright, so Infiraga will give everybody the Fire Imbue with a 35% amp, so that's slightly better than Tsukiko's. So you don't necessarily have to do Tsukiko's Fire Imbue. I did it anyways. Just make sure you don't put up her Imperil Field yet, because you want to do that on this turn, after Esther does her LB. Alright. Well done, Esther. Okay. So now Esther first thing, do her LB. Okay. Chizuru can do Eastern Winds, Breezy Barrier, and Staunch Samurai to fill up Esther, to give Esther that 10 LB fill that she'll need for next turn. Tsukiko will now do Purging Mandala Fire. Rain can do his LB. Okay. Vaughn can honestly just guard. He doesn't need to do anything right now. Okay. Esther will come back. Alright, free up her Omnicover, Storm Guardian, and Quantum Storm to herself, just to use up that third action. Alright, Chizuru will do Beast Pulverizer for the killers. Vaughn can guard again. Tsukiko will now shift and charge up her Blazing Karmic. Okay, wait for that to be done, because you definitely don't want to chain or you'll kill the guy. We'll just do Aldor Leader here. Okay. Chizuru can do Breezy Barrier, Focus Strength, Focused Mind. Alright, Esther's going to shift back. Calm Before the Storm, double Bolting Slice. Alright, Vaughn can do Oil for the 160% Imperil. My Brother's Gone for the 88% Defense and Spirit Break. And then just any, whatever you want to do for the last action, doesn't really matter. Reagan's going to just do his Mod Boost, because we've already imbued and amped fire, so we're good there. Rain will do all of his setup here. Tsukiko's going to do the Focus. And we're now ready for next turn. Alright, good to go. Alright, so it shouldn't need to be said, but I'll say it anyways. Esther has to go last, so your action order is important here. Blazing Karmic. LB. Now, like I said, Vaughn's LB, despite being 27 hits, is not Bolting Strike frames. So chaining this is a bit of a pain in the butt. But you want Vaughn to go first, of course, for the 89% defense break. So I'm going to tap Vaughn, and then Tsukiko, and then immediately Reagan and Rain, followed immediately by Chizuru and Esther, and just hope that it all weaves together and nothing gets too broken. All right. It's not going to be perfect, but, you know, it is what it is, right? So we're just going to do the best that we can. All right. And yeah, hopefully we'll do something like around 17, 18 bill with this team. Ah, 16. Ah, well. It is definitely a cheaper team than my earlier ones, but yeah. Let's see. How do we do? All right. So yeah, Rain doing quite well on that one. That's good to see. And yeah, everyone else doing about what you would expect with only a 35% amp. So yeah, those 100% amps in the previous clears definitely help. But yeah, when Rain doesn't have to worry about any ice interrupting him, he can definitely bring it with a much bigger burst. But as you can see, he's not doing so much more that it makes it worth it. It's definitely better to mix the elements if you have to. to make sure that everybody gets that 100% amp like you saw in my previous video. All right, but if you happen to have these units on hand, this is just another strategy you guys can use to take down this final boss. So this is the last one I'm going to do. I'm done with Dark Visions. I'm out of here. I might do some more content this week, but I'm kind of I might just sort of slow down a little bit and start mentally preparing for Clash of Wills, because I'm pretty sure that's coming out this week. We'll have the new Dwayne unit, who is a Clash of Wills unit. So I'll be excited to sort of see what Dwayne looks like. And yeah, so we'll just see what it comes up with this week. I might do 1 or 2 more vids with some on some content this week, but we'll see. I'm gonna take it easy. I've kind of plowed through a lot of content these last few days, so thank you guys for sticking with me, and I will see you on the other side.